ahead of race 1, which is a mixed 6-7, and obviously full of greyhounds here that have limited experience in their racing career. But Nathan Rooney, a lot of greyhounds here who have a lot of tendencies. You've got ones like Can You Jive? He's going to show a lot of speed. I mean, that's probably the most certain thing of the night, that he's going to go forward and lead this first race.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's 3 dogs here going forward with speed. Can You Jive's coming out of a maiden, but showed really good speed through that series, 5:07 and 5:12 to the mark. Drawn inside, a couple of weeks between runs. I think it'll be holding the lead here, but Mitzi Rocks and Bebop Jazz, who comes out of the Pink Diamond series, have also got a lot of speed. So I think the speed will be on in the race, Jason. I kind of look for something that might be running on if it can get a cold drop on them 3 tearaway leaders. And just think at the double figure quote, Poor Bodie, number 3, might have a little bit of a cheeky last crack down the outside at him here. So I think the speed's on in this race, and I just want to spec something each way at a bit of value that's going to sit off the speed and come with one big run late.
So number 3, Poor Bodie on top for Nathan Rooney, as we welcome in our Sky Racing 1 audience. Myself, Jason Adams, Nathan Cat Ernst is here on track on your Sky Racing Active feed. And Cat, it's a big night, clearly highlighted through those quaddy legs, and particularly those 2 big finals in the Fireball and also the Maturity.
And even the free-for-all race number 7 is an absolute belter. So as we get further in towards the card later tonight, then yeah, for sure, plenty to like about tonight's race meeting.
It's an open edition of the Maturity. There's no 2 ways about that. And the Fireball being race number 6, obviously being rocked last night by the scratching of Palawa King. We see a reserve go in, and although it was an interesting race to start with, and almost becomes a more interesting race, I should say, without the King a part of it. But Nate, for anyone who's joined us late, we're kicking off here in the first race. It's a mixed 6-7. You don't mind the chance of the Poor Bodie at a bit of odds?
I don't mind the check of the 3 here, mate. I just think he might be able to settle behind the speed. If he can hold his position going through the corner, get to the outside of a couple of these tearaway leaders, he's going to be very strong. He was a bit of an eye-catcher on the wet track on Monday at Sandown, running through the line after having little luck. He's going to have to be brave going into that corner and hold a spot close enough to these leaders. But if he gets a clear crack at him, I do think he can come over the top. The $9.50 on an each-way basis might represent a bit of value to kick off the night here at the Meadows.
So Poor Bodie for the guru, which is Nathan Rooney, in the first of what's a big night here at the Meadows. And the man to talk us through all the action is Dan Hibbert. Let's get to him for the first.
Start and second at Sandown before that. Starting signal as they're about to get set for race number 1. Thanks, Jace. They're about to get set for the first, the City View Bistro. It's a big night. The Fireball and the Maturity Classic, the Group 1 Maturity later on this evening. It's a brilliant night of racing. $20,000 jackpot in the quaddie as well. So get your quaddies on with the first leg, race 5. Set to run the first. They're ready to go. Set. And away, and Can You Jive was only fair to hit the ground. Mitzi Rocks won the start, joined by Bebop Jazz. Can You Jive has hustled through behind them. Out deeper on the track was Vista Itrium, and they get clear on Poor Demetra, then Poor Bodie. Well back now, Pauldron Bale, and last was Star Stay. It is Bebop Jazz, the leader, out by a couple on Mitzi Rocks, and on the outside, Vista Itrium running on. Can You Jive not doing enough, and then came Poor Demetra, but it's Bebop Jazz in front, and Bebop Jazz holding off Vista Itrium. Yes, maybe. It got tired late, Bebop Jazz, and Vista Itrium put in a really big dive on the line. This is really close. Third in will be Mitzi Rocks. Fourth home should be Can You Jive, I think, just ahead of Poor Bodie. And then came Poor Demetra, Star Stay, and it was one of the last across the line with Pauldron Bale, and it's 30 and 36.
Thrilling finish to the opening there at the Meadows. And if there's one you're leaning towards, Nathan, that very close photo finish, who would it be?
7 the outside with the momentum for mine, Jace. He was stalking the speed. We said there was a couple of tearaway leaders in the race, and it was what greyhound out of the stronger brigade was kind of going to get to 3rd or 4th going through the corner. And Vitra Yistrian was that dog, and he was able to put the bob on the line and back up a good win on Monday night at Sandown, with another win here at Metropolitan Company at the Meadows here tonight, in a decent time of 30 and 32, considering he had to come off the speed.
And continues a very good run for Daily Greyhound Farms, doesn't it? They've had all the success with the ethanol greyhounds, now with these Vistas and Aston Rupee Gypsy Vista. not a lot to their career to date, but look to be quite handy.
Yeah, they're the new group of pups coming out of the Daily Farm and coming through the grades, and they seem to be able to run a pretty strong 500. We know they get every chance coming out of there around the metropolitan tracks, and this greyhound here, as I touched on, has put 2 on the spin now and certainly can kick on after that last ditched effort here tonight to put its head down right on the line and get the chockies in metropolitan company.
100% wins in 30 and 32. So Vista Yttrium wins the opener from Bebot Jazz and also Mitzi Rocks. And we spoke in the opening about how the conditions were just crap last week on Saturday night. The racing was electric. Unfortunately, it was tarred by rain. When you're going through a lot of the performances that we've seen out of that meeting from last week, how do you analyse them? Do you sort of take them for what they're worth, or you completely ignore them and come up with your own theory as to what this greyhound should be able to run?
I kind of take them for what they're worth, because I think the track was pretty consistent throughout the night. It was crap, but it was crap all day and all evening. So the track held